Well, hello again, everyone. If I were a betting man, I would say that many of you have attempted to memorize this verse, 1 Peter 5:7. And why do I say that? Because the verse tells us this: cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you. And see, that has to be a popular verse with us because we all have anxiety from time to time. And when it shows up on our doorstep, we want to know what to do with it. And this verse tells us just that. But as we look at this verse today, we need to understand what in the world did Peter mean by anxiety. And the Greek word from which it is derived means to divide or be fractionated. And it's actually the exact opposite of the word for peace. Peace means wholeness and completeness. And therefore, anxiety is anything that interrupts or fractionates our peace. And certainly we all have that. So when it shows up, what are we to do? And Peter tells us that we are to cast it on the Lord. And that's an important distinction. We're not to attempt to try to get rid of it ourselves, or not try to outrun it, or just set it aside randomly, but we are to cast it someplace. And that word for cast is a compound Greek word that means to throw upon. So we are to throw our anxiety in a specific direction to a very specific recipient, and the scripture tells us that receiver is none other than God Himself. And why? Because He cares for us. Now, there's a whole lot that could be said about the care of God towards His children, but this word literally means to take an active interest in. And isn't that amazing that the God of the entire universe takes an active interest in you and in me? And He's interested and concerned about every detail, including those that threaten to break us apart emotionally and mentally. And notice the little word all. It literally means each and every part that makes up the whole. God's interested in taking it all. Now, I learned one more thing as I was studying this verse this week. In the Greek language, there are at least 3 different words that we translate into the English word throw. And it matters. The difference matters. The one Peter used here implies quick motion. It's a quick toss just to fling something. The other 2, the first one means a deliberate hurl, that after looking at all the options, you deliberately choose one and go there. The last one means an extended projection. And again, I think Peter chose the less common of these 3 words for a very specific reason. The difference matters, and here's why. I'll try to explain it using a sports illustration. I live in the Kansas City area, and we're still just a little bit excited about those Chiefs and their recent Super Bowl win. And for the sake of our illustration, pretend that you are Patrick Mahomes. You are the quarterback. And for our illustration, the football, I wish I had one, the football is your anxiety. And with the ball, you as the quarterback have 3 choices. You can make a quick out, get rid of the ball quickly, go to one receiver every time. You can fall back into the pocket, maybe scramble around a little bit, risk getting sacked, look off 3 or 4 different receivers before you try to force the ball into someone who's covered. Or heaven forbid, you can hold on to the situation, you can hold on to your anxiety so long that the situation gets so desperate that you have to go for the extended projection, what we'll call the Hail Mary. And God's game plan for your anxiety is that quick out every time. Get rid of the ball like it's a hot potato and choose your favorite receiver, which is God Himself. He's got sure hands. He knows what to do with the ball after you give it to Him. And He cares about you. Friend, don't hold on to your anxieties. Don't look for all your different options for getting rid of them. Instead, do the quick pass every time to your God. because he cares for you. Until next time, keep the heart teachable.